Surveillance video shows 4 suspects prying open unit after unit after unit.
The suspects seen in this video from security cameras inside Extra Space storage. The rash of burglaries happening over the course of 2 hours, as police say the man takes his time.
These images from a surveillance camera show a man that deputies say broke into 2 units at the storage complex on the west end of town.
Thieves hit Swanson's storage unit and 19 others. In the back, 7 RVs were also rummaged through, cut locks and chains, other reminders left behind.
Fellow hobbyists, collectors, and prey heads alike, I want to welcome you back to my channel, Predator Collectibles. I am your host, Glennon Taylor, and on today's video, it's not a very good one. So, I have found out that my storage facility that I had at a certain company, and you'll find out who that is in a minute, was broken into. So 5 years of my collection that I had acquired while I was out in Alabama, because I'm currently now here in Oregon, was broken into by another tenant. So let me explain. Another tenant who had a unit at this particular company who also had an access code. So your way you access this building is through an access code via the gate. 5 years of the collecting is gone. And I'll explain what the list is later on. But as it stands right now, I have some of my stuff that was not taken. And I'll show you a clip of what I was able to see out of the destruction of the unit. Luckily, my wife's things that were also in the unit were not taken. Some of them were, but the very sentimental stuff that you cannot replace were not taken. But my original art was taken, and a few other things. So I'm going to show you a list of here pretty soon, but what I'm going to show you is the storage facility, how they accessed it. Take a look.
Now I'll say it's a sad state of affairs when your storage unit is broken into, even though you have a security key and someone has to gain access to the elevator via that security key. So this is how he did it. Made marks here, drilled a hole, and this is probably what, this is what I have left. So yeah, someone broke into my unit and stole all my collection. This is what I have left to deal with. So yay. 5 years of hard collecting Predator gone. So he took my comics. That was left of what comic book bin I had. Now what did actually end up staying behind, thank goodness, was my art prints. So my art prints are safe. I do have a Sideshow Collectibles art print. So yeah, that actually did end up staying with me. He didn't grab any of those. I do have some collectibles that are up there, and sorry for the focus, but yeah, I have some that are up there that's not been taken. Luckily I did keep them inside the RV slash house, and you know, graded comic, which I'm not going to display yet because I have a video about that. But yeah, I have some of my collection still left. I have my art prints. I have my painting. That is the 18 by 24 original oil painting that I bought off of an artist that did the cover for Predator, Fire and Stone, the very first appearance of Ahab. He didn't take that. So that's just a blessing, but at the same time, the original comic book art pages that I bought, Archie versus Predator, that was taken. Dark River, Predator Dark River was taken. Predator Life and Death,
This was the page 15 of issue 3. This is the splash page, the beautiful splash page that was used for the Prime 1 statue that is done of crack tusk. That was taken. The Predator 2 movie adaptation of issue number 2, that was taken. My autographs that I had from both Ana Elvidia Carrillo is her name, along with Carl Weathers that I saw at Rose City Comic Con, that was taken. I don't know really what else to say or do other than the fact that I'm lost for words that a tenant who had a unit at this company used his access code to break into my unit using a drill, and I'm just flabbergasted. So there may very well be, because of the condition of the economy right now and everything that's about it, our inflation is right now at 7.5%, almost 8%. Gas prices are on the rise. Housing prices are on the rise. Affordability for everything that you would normally buy is steadily on the rise and not being able to be purchased by a normal, average, middle-class human being anymore. So theft is on the rise. Crime rate is skyrocketing. And it just unfortunately happened to me at the worst possible time when I've only had the unit from July up until the time that my maternity leave had ended as a benefit from my company. I took 6 weeks of leave for maternity since my daughter was born, and here is now someone broke into my unit and stole majority of my collection. Luckily, most of it can be replaced. The original art pages, obviously you all know, and myself, that can be replaced. You cannot replace original art. I did already file a claim with the company. I also, of course, did file a police report. The police report came nothing of it. Even though we do have on surveillance the person that did it, we also have identification of who did it, and we know what his unit number is. The company did not disclose that to me to figure out whether or not if my stuff was in his unit to showcase or to hold on to it until time came where he was caught, and then he was hopefully able to sell my stuff. Nothing came of an arrest. I already spoke with a lawyer. I currently have a lawyer on retainer, and they pretty much have said that, you know, if you want to prosecute this person, it'll be a long drawn out process, because they would have to find the person, number one. Number two, they would have to either do a search and seizure, a warrant for an arrest by a judge, and they just simply said your best bet right now is just to claim the money that you have for your insurance policy through the company and just let bygones be bygones. So I've learned my lesson from this. That's why, again, I might pause collecting for a while. I'm currently living in a small space, which is why I got the storage unit to begin with. I still have a unit somewhere else where a majority of my other collection pieces are still there, along with other original pages. I have, so about half of my collection of original comic book pages were taken, I think. So 10 of them were taken out of the 34 or 20 that I have. So it's not a major loss, but it still represents a principle. It still represents a point in time where you would think that stuff like that would be protected by both a lock and an access code, that no one can gain access unless you have a unit. You couldn't climb into or over the gate to gain access to anywhere that my unit was. My unit was on the second floor, and that's why I'm like, I might go ahead and buy a house once the housing market has cooled down. But the federal government at this point says that this particular pricing for houses on average of $400,000 is normal. They've already now have tried to increase their mortgage rates as far as who can borrow for certain houses. So as a new home buyer, I might actually be able to benefit from that. I haven't decided as to where I'm going to go. Oregon, even though my son is here, Oregon may not be the place I will call home. I still love Arizona. I will always love Arizona. Arizona to me is home. That's where majority of my friends are, and that's where I remember most of my good memories of. So I just want to let you know that I still have my art prints, I still have the painting, and the action figures and everything else can be replaced thank goodness, just not the art. But if you do see any of these items that, again, are on eBay or anything, I will leave all these pictures flowing through the end of this video. And so I just want to let you know that thank you very much for your patience for this channel. Thank you for your support. And as your support, if you see any of these items, please let me know or report them to the proper authority of whoever's listing it on that website, whether it be Mercari, eBay, OfferUp, you name it, Craigslist. Just make sure you keep an eye out in this community of predator collecting. I want to thank you very much, everyone, from the bottom of my heart that can help me in this, and I really do appreciate your support and everything. Happy hunting. Do not stop collecting. I know I won't. This is simply just a temporary setback, but I will see you all in the next video. And again, happy hunting.